Well, one of my favorite things, I think, as a dentist is when you get to the end of a smile makeover case and you hand that mirror to the patient. I mean, that is just like the most rewarding thing. And, I look back at all the before and after photos, throughout the course of my career doing this over 20 years. And I'm just really fond of that kind of work. I think, the key to being a really good provider of cosmetic dentistry is, first of all, understanding that form and function goes together. You have to have both aesthetic and functional success. The teeth have to be developed in a way where the bite is good, so you're not breaking teeth down, breaking restorations over time. They have to look good in the patient's face. They have to be phonetically good. They have to be able to be used to eat and speak and do all these things in normal day life. So it's not just a process where we start, shaving down teeth and sending things off to a lab to make restorations. Although that does happen in dentistry, it's not the right way. It's not the way that we do it. I think we're very fortunate that we have our own lab and we have our own lab technicians under one roof. So we work very closely and they get involved in the process. And that's been a phenomenal, I think, advantage that I've really enjoyed. My wife is an artist and she's become a lab technician and she designs a lot of the smiles. So we kind of go home and look at teeth together sometimes, and that part has been fun. The other thing is, the workup process, what we call an advanced exam and records, a review findings, and a treatment plan appointments are very important. It does seem like it takes a while to kind of get started with us sometimes, but it's all in the planning. If you're not planning a case properly, it's going to fail. So the first thing we do is a really deep dive into a patient where we take photos, we scan their teeth with digital impressioning materials and equipment, where we have software technology. Everything's very computer driven now. And we could sit down with the patient after that with the review findings appointment and go over what things are going on in their mouth, what is causing those things, and also get an idea of what their goals and limitations are so that we can work within a patient's budget. If there's certain things they don't want, like anything removable, a denture, we take that off the table. And then once we get that information from the patient, we sit down, I talk with the lab, we really work things out, and I can make a treatment plan. We could look into a patient's insurance, their benefits, figure out what the most cost-effective way to value engineer something that's going to be great for them, something that'll work for them. And then, designing the case, and again, this is where the lab really comes in. We like to say that we do a case 4 times. That doesn't mean we're working on the patient 4 times, but we start with the photos and the models that we take, and we do it in 2D. So we have a lot of software-driven tools where we're looking at these pictures to start to imagine where the teeth are going to be. Then we actually have the 3D digital impressions that are set on a virtual jaw, so we can see how the teeth actually work, and we start to design in 3D what those teeth should look like, and we can layer the pictures over that. And then the next thing we do is, once we start the case actually on the patient, we don't necessarily go right to the finals. We actually make a set of printed temporaries. We have wonderful dental resins and materials now that can be turned around and made very quickly with our own in-house 3D printing technology. So we give the patients these prototypes that allow them to kind of test drive their teeth to make sure all those functional things are working and that they like the way they look. Once we've figured that out, we can take some new photos, make adjustments, new scans, and we could tweak things so that when we get the final of the very beautiful zirconia or porcelain materials that go in for these restorations, whether they're crowns or veneers, can look great and work great.